That's right. Hey, what's up, everybody?
Welcome
I'm
back.
back to discuss Black Widow. Just went saw it yesterday, so it's going to be a movie review containing spoilers. If you don't want to know anything about it, do not continue watching. If you don't mind spoilers, keep on watching.
Keep on watching.
Sure.
Watch very closely.
So anyway, we saw this yesterday, and I thought overall it was pretty good.
So that's your verdict.
Yeah, I thought it was.
The verdict is in, everybody.
Yeah, I would say it was like a 7 out of 10. I wouldn't say it was spectacular. But then again, like usually, like the soul movies, I don't think the soul movies are ever really fantastic. There's only been a few movies like the original Avengers in Endgame and Infinity War. I think those were really good. But all like these solo movies, I think those solo movies are always do. I always think they're pretty good. I don't think that they're spectacular like those other movies, but I don't think they're terrible. I mean, it's like there were certain movies like Ant-Man wasn't as good as this. Like Iron Man, what was it? Iron Man 3?
That was all right.
Was it Iron Man 2 or 3 that wasn't very good? If you could forget one, it was Thor: The Dark World wasn't very good. I didn't think it was that good. It was just okay.
All the Marvel.
But this is I thought was better than those. I think this was really well done. I think it did a pretty good backstory of how Black Widow became Black Widow, which I think was really cool. I think it was like about time that they finally gave Scarlett Johansson, her own solo movie, and the characters that were in it, I think were all really well done. It was what's his name, David Harbour, that he was
Stranger
Things. Stranger Things. He played Ray Guardian. I think he did a really good job, especially his accent. I think he sounded really.
He's not even Russian.
No.
He did it somehow really good.
Rachel Weisz, I think her character was really well. She didn't have a huge part in this. I mean, I wouldn't say. You know what I'm saying? Like she never. It wasn't a small part, but it wasn't really big either. There was a lot of scenes that she wasn't in. She's only a small. But the scenes that she wasn't were like meaningful. Like the. I'm not going to get there. Well, I shouldn't get skipped to the ending, but I almost gave that away.
Oh,
it went out of line. So, most of it starts off with you realize how Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, became Black Widow. And her sister was also a widow. They really weren't sisters. I think they were
adopted.
No, I think they were taken from their parents because they weren't real. None of the family was real. There was the David Harbour's character, Rachel Weisz. They were supposed to be the parents, but they really weren't. Scarlett Johansson and what's her name?
Florence Pugh.
Yeah, Florence Pugh. They were supposed to be like a family, but it was fake. It was only basically to steal some information for this guy, the main villain. What was the main villain?
Taskmaster.
No, that wasn't like that was the. That was a villain, obviously, but the guy who was controlling Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Taskmaster. He wasn't Taskmaster.
No, you're talking about the old guy with the glasses that kept taunting. I forget what his name was. He had a Russian name. I don't think you can even say it.
I don't recall what his name was. Anyways, he was like the main villain that was, controlling everything. So David Harbour's character is working for him at the beginning of the movie to steal information, and when the U.S. government finds out that he's a spy, he takes his family away, even though they're really not his family, because it was just all a cover. And it puts Scarlett Johansson's character as a young girl and her sister also as a young girl. They're taken away. They're sedated, taken away by this guy who creates the Widow program, and basically brainwashes them and puts its mind control things. And
that kind of reminds me of like Hydra. Hydra did the same thing.
Yeah, it's very similar to how Hydra operated.
With how they brainwashed Bucky Barnes. They brainwashed him and, tricked him into killing like people he should have never killed, and that's how it kind of reminded me with the Widow program. It was basically very, very similar to one another. Both brainwashing, and they were out to, just take over the world with mind control widows, which wasn't right, obviously.
Yeah, you realize that he's just stealing this guy's. Do you want to look up the guy, the casting to find out his name? Because I can't. And it's terrible. I can't remember what his name was. But the main villain was basically stealing young girls from all over the world and brainwashing them, turn into Black Widows. So by the time they reached, adult and become like either teenagers or young adults, he'd have these women all over the world where at any moment he could control them and tell them to attack a certain target. And they were all really well trained and very skilled at what they did. So it was very hard to kill these women because they were very good at it. And since they were everywhere, that made it very difficult. They would attack in large groups, so it would be harder to take them down. All right, sorry, I'm just coming back from. I'm going to show. I'm going to edit this part out, but I had to look up the main villain's name, it was Dreykov, who was played by Ray Winstone. I couldn't remember what his name was, so I figured for this video I should probably know who it is. I just couldn't remember what his name was. And then the other main villain is his daughter, who's Taskmaster. I thought Taskmaster was going to be played by a guy. That's what I thought. I thought it was going to be somebody else. But it turns out that his daughter is the person who's actually Taskmaster, and she's also like a Black Widow. I don't know if she's like if she's fully human because it looked like she had some like cybernetic thing, like her eyeball and stuff looked weird. So I don't know if she was fully human or not, but she was also controlled like a Black Widow. He could just do one thing on the computer and be able to control her.
Yeah, I mean, she was a more than just a Black Widow. She copied all the moves the Avengers did. She used the bow and arrow like Hawkeye, the shield like Captain America, the Wakanda Forever thing like Black Panther.
Yeah.
And then she did the pose that Black Widow does when she lands. So basically, she mimics the Avengers and copies all their moves, except she's much faster than all of them, and she could do it actually more accurately than all of them as well. Surprisingly enough, like, she didn't die or anything. Like, they took her away, and I guess she's gonna go get help, I guess. So I don't know if she's gonna be a villain.
That was towards the end of the movie. The beginning with Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow. She's basically hiding because this happens after Captain America: Civil War. So they're all in prison, and she's on the run, and she's trying to hide from General Ross. So she's kind of in hiding, trying to save from. And then that's when Taskmaster shows up looking for this antidote that frees the Black Widows from the mind control chemical that they're under. So Taskmaster shows up for that reason. And Black Widow thinks she's there for her originally, but then realizes she's only there to get this stuff that her sister had sent her to try to keep it safe. But she didn't realize that Taskmaster was going to show up looking for it. So she decides she's going to go to where they were at. It wasn't Budapest. Well, it was, yeah, I'm sure it was. It was the safe house in Budapest. She shows up there to find her sister. And then they're going to go get their father, Red Guardian, out of prison. He's in like a Siberian prison or something. So they're going to get him, then go find the mother, because she supposedly knows where what they call the Red Room, where all the Black Widows are trained is.
And they eventually do all that.
Yeah.
They basically break Red Guardian out of prison in a very cool scene.
Yeah, I think that scene that was really that was one of the scenes that I thought was really over the top. Is Black Widow jumps out of a helicopter and she's like attached by like a bungee cord almost or whatever, and she manages to land safely.
Yeah.
Anyways, they end up getting him out of prison. They all reunite with the mother, and they come up with this plan because she calls or messages Dreykov, and all the Black Widows are supposed to show up to kill them, but it's actually part of their plan. And they had this face thing that the Black Widow put over her face, so she looked like Rachel Weisz's character, and Rachel Weisz looked like her. So they trade places, and that way to deceive Dreykov and get to the Red Room and free all these women and destroy uh, what's it called? Black Widow. The whole Widow program. So they go to they get they get arrested on purpose, and they get to the facility, and they do manage to free them because her sister, gets the antidote to the whole crowd of widows that are trying to attack Scarlett Johansson's character. Um, I think it was cool that Dreykov put this chemical, in it so that people couldn't attack him, because of the pheromone. And they said if if you break the nerve in your face, I guess it blocks you be able to smell it, so you can be able to attack him. Because if not, this pheromone prevents you. No matter how hard you want to kill him, you can't. So she ends up she breaks Scarlett Johansson's character breaks her own face off the desk just so she can't smell this stuff, so she's able to attack him. Um, so then all the Black Widows, keep calling Black Widow, all the widows come to try to save him, and her sister lets the antidote out, and they all kind of come out of their haze or mind control, whatever they're in. In the meantime, the ship, it wasn't a ship, it was a thing that was like floating in the sky, and they're gonna
building.
Yeah.
Headquarters, building, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's falling out of the sky.
Yeah, because that's where the Red Room is. It was in the sky. It was hidden by this cloud thing. That's why nobody could find it, apparently. So yeah, there's this big action sequence where this thing's falling out of the sky, and they're all trying to escape without dying, and nobody really has parachutes or anything. There was one helicopter, but I think that helicopter crashed, and it was like a big disaster. But they managed to somehow all get away in this one ship, except for who was left? Except for what was her sister's character? What was the character's name?
Yelena, I think.
Yeah, Yelena. So she ends up falling off this thing, and Black Widow jumps to the sky. She has a one parachute, and she manages to put it around her sister and save her sister with the parachute. In the meantime, Taskmaster, they save her, even though they end up using the same antidote on her as they did the widow. So she kind of comes out of it and says, "Is he dead?" Referring to her father, and she says, "Yes, he is." And the widows are all going to take her and kind of help her to try to make her better at the end. I don't know exactly what their plan is, but she kind of comes out of it, so she's not really a bad person, turns out. She's just basically being mind controlled by her father.
Yeah, or at least she won't be a villain anymore.
That's right.
Well, I heard that she's supposed to appear like in another movie. Supposedly, that's what I heard, but I don't see that happening.
I don't know.
And so then the U.S. government shows up, but they don't really show what happens. They just show Natasha, and then it switches to the scene where she's talking to that guy, and he gives her the Quinjet, which is
it's like some friend of hers.
Yeah, and basically the Quinjet obviously was seen in Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, and her appearance changed as well. She had the blonde hair and the black outfit, which she wore in Infinity War and Endgame as well. So it's like it kind of all connects with each other, And she basically tells him that she's gonna go find Steve Rogers and reunite with the other Avengers.
Yeah, break them out of jail. So that's kind of where that ends up. But there was a end credit scene, and it is her sister. She shows her in the future. Now this is after
Endgame ends.
Yeah, and she's at
Natasha's grave.
Yeah, Natasha's grave, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus shows up. She was in
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, she was with now U.S. agent
John Walker,
the new Captain America. So she was kind of trying to hire him or whatever. So now she's trying to hire her. She's like, "Here's your next target," and she gives her a picture of Clint Barton. So
aka Hawkeye.
Even though she says was the person who's responsible for his sister's death, which isn't really true.
It's not.
She sacrificed herself, so I'm curious what's going to happen. I don't know if she's going to actually kill him or if he's going to be able to, convince her he didn't do anything. It's going to be on
Disney Plus really soon. This year, matter of fact.
Yeah, on the Hawkeye series, so we'll have to see. I'm sure she's going to probably be on it, I would imagine. That's why they're setting that up.
I'm sure Hawkeye's not going to die in it. I can't imagine. Yeah, I can't be, because I can't see that happening. That she probably thinks. I'm sure at first she'll probably think like you murdered my sister. I'm sure they'll go at it, and then she'll probably realize like, oh, she killed herself. You had nothing.
Yeah,
to do
she
with
sacrificed herself for the greater good. So it was her sister's choice. Clint Barton didn't kill her.
Yeah, so that's gonna be another cool series to watch very, very soon.
Yeah. So anyway, overall, sorry if this review is a little rambling, kind of good. Get one off, different parts of the movie there a little bit. Overall, I thought all the characters did a really good job. I thought the action sequences were really well played out. They're pretty amazing and like spectacular, like really chaotic, but the way that they did them, but in a good way. I thought overall it was a good movie.
Yeah,
highly recommend if you can get a chance to get out to the theater to see it. It's on Disney Plus, but this is not the same as it's in theaters. So we can check most of these Marvel movies out in theaters unless otherwise. So
yeah.
So I think that's going to wrap this one up. As always, we appreciate you guys tuning in to check out our video. So hit that like and subscribe.
Until next time.